A woman grew increasingly frustrated with her husband, who refused to lift a finger around the house. Every evening he'd come home from work, plop himself in front of the TV, eat his dinner, and stay glued to the couch, never helping with chores or fixing the little things most husbands usually took care of. One day, the toilet clogged. When her husband walked in that evening, she asked sweetly, "Honey, the toilet's backed up. Could you take a look at it?" He grumbled, "What do I look like, Mr. Fix-It?" and settled on the sofa. The very next day, the garbage disposal broke. Again, she asked kindly, "Honey, the disposal isn't working. Could you try fixing it for me?" Once more he snapped, "What do I look like, Mr. Plumber?" The following day, the washing machine quit working. She hesitated, then asked, "Honey, the washer's broken. Could you check it out?" And for the third time, he barked, "What do I look like? Tim the Tool Man." That was the last straw. The next morning, she called 3 repairmen to take care of the toilet, the disposal, and the washer. That evening, when her husband came home, she told him, "Honey, I had the repairmen over today." He frowned. "And how much is that going to cost us?" She replied calmly, "Well, they said I could either pay them with a cake or with sex." Her husband, shocked, asked, "So what kind of cakes did you bake them?" With a sweet smile, she answered, "What do I look like, Betty Crocker?" A man went to a female dentist to have a troublesome tooth pulled. As he settled into the chair, she pulled out a large syringe. "No way! Absolutely not! I can't stand needles!" the man said, panicking. Understanding, the dentist tried another option. She began setting up the nitrous oxide mask. But he quickly protested, "I can't do the gas thing either. The thought of a mask on my face makes me feel like I'm suffocating." She paused, then asked, "Well, would you be okay with pills?" Relieved, he nodded. "Sure, I'm fine with pills." The dentist handed him 2 small blue tablets, which he swallowed immediately. Curious, he asked, "What were those?" "Viagra," she said with a calm smile. Stunned, the man exclaimed, "Viagra? I didn't know those could kill pain." The dentist chuckled. "They don't, but they'll give you something to hold on to while I pull your tooth." A man on a flight to Chicago suddenly felt an urgent need to use the bathroom. Squirming in discomfort, he hurried down the aisle, only to find the men's room occupied every time he tried the door. Noticing his distress, a stewardess whispered, "Sir, I'll let you use the ladies' room, but on one condition. Don't touch the buttons on the wall." Grateful, he agreed and rushed inside. Once seated, however, his eyes couldn't resist wandering to the panel of mysterious buttons labeled WW, WA, PP, and ATR. Curiosity got the better of him. He pressed WW, and to his delight, warm water gently sprayed his bottom. "Wow," he thought. "This is amazing. Women really do have it made." Encouraged, he pressed WA. A stream of warm air quickly dried him. "This just keeps getting better." Next came PP. Out popped a large powder puff that dusted his rear with soft talc. "Incredible! Men's rooms don't have anything like this." Finally, unable to resist, he pressed ATR. Everything went black. When he woke up in a hospital bed, he frantically called for the nurse. "The last thing I remember, I was in the ladies' room on that plane. What happened to me?" The nurse smirked and said, "Well, you were doing fine, until you pressed the ATR button." Terrified, he asked, "ATR? What does that stand for?" With a grin, she replied, "Automatic tampon remover." A husband was reading the newspaper when his wife stormed in, furious. "I found a piece of paper in your jacket with the name Jenny on it. Care to explain?" The husband calmly replied, "Relax, honey. That's the name of a horse I'm betting on at the track." The next day, his wife greeted him at the door with a smug smile. "Your horse called," she said. "She wants to know what's for dinner."